Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 in the Time to Shine podcast series. And what a treat we have for you today, because it's our World AIDS Day episode. For those of you who may or may not know, World AIDS Day, that was a bit of a mouthful, was founded in 1988 and was the first ever global health day. And it takes place on 1st of December, and it's an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV and show support for people who commemorate those who have died from AIDS-related illnesses. To mark this day, we have with us a special guest all the way from sunny Portugal. Hola, Ricardo.
Hey, hello, everybody.
But it's not just Ricardo we have here with us today. As usual, we have our usual crew of Mary Mel. Hi, Mary Mel.
Hiya.
Jolly John. Hi, Jolly John.
Howdy.
Yeah, and me, of course, Regal Rohan.
Well,
Anyway, so without further ado, let's do our usual and check in with the crew and see how they've been doing since we last spoke to you out there in worldwide land. Anyway, Mel, how are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Can you see me? Am I on camera?
You're on
Yes.
camera.
Oh, I
You're
just
great.
can't see myself. That's all right.
Birth, you look fabulous.
looking great, yes.
All right, I don't mind not seeing myself. That's fine. That's a lot more like real life. Isn't it weird how, we don't look at ourselves all the time. You know, you go to the office and you navigate life, and it's not like you walk around with a big mirror in front of yourself, but you do when you're on Zoom or Teams or whatever. Anyway, what have I been doing myself? Walking around with a big mirror. No. So I can feel like I'm online. No, I've actually been getting fit. I've been going to the gym really regularly. Kind of become, a bit of a gym bunny. And they're doing a lot of classes and things, having a bit of fun. Actually starting to, have a little bit of shape and having its toll. And the nice thing is, I haven't given anything up. So I can still eat all the usual junk that I've been eating and drinking. But I feel a bit healthier and better for it. So yeah, that's me. So John, what have you been up to? Besides growing that caterpillar on your nose?
Do you like it?
Is it Movember?
It is Movember. Obviously, that's a great thing to do for charity for over here in the UK. But yeah, I just needed a shave this morning and decided to leave it like that. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with it, really.
I want TikTok, that oh, look at this distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, you look very Charles Dickens, John, if you don't mind.
Why, thank you. What have I been up to? It was really hard to think, because when did we record the last one? Similar to Mel, I've been doing some exercise classes, PT training sessions. I've started to do something called Groove It Fit, which is, again, it's doing different routines to different songs. And if I just reach up, I've got some purple pom-poms that for one of the songs that you have to sort of wave around, and so it's a bit colourful, a bit camp, a little bit, but yeah, good fun. I love it. Work is continuing on the gym in the garden. We're getting the windows tomorrow and the door, so that's progressing well. My MG is getting there slowly. Very slow progress at the moment. And cooking, eating, socializing with friends, that sort of thing. Just starting to catch up with people, and then we're heading quite quickly towards Christmas. So
Lockdown.
planning for that is underway. So yeah, that's it from me, really. Rowan, what about yourself?
Well, I've been doing quite a few things, I guess. They're just the usual, engaging in social intercourse in the run-up to Christmas. I've also been, I've been going to the gym as well. I've been trying to get fit, failing miserably. And I've started swimming lessons at the ripe old age of 23 again. I think that my poor old swimming instructor has got his hands full with me as a student. I mean, and just the usual, trying to keep fit. I've got a blood test coming up I'm actually just I'm sort of nursing a cold at the moment. So if I suddenly fall asleep, it's because I've had a bit of a rough night. Sorry, Mel, about falling asleep while you were talking to me earlier, which I did, and all I could hear was, Rohan, are you there? Are you there? Suddenly I thought, oh.
I'm so interesting. You fall asleep on me.
I was tired. I had a rough night. So anyway, yeah, that's it from me. It's my pussycat's 3rd death anniversary. It was yesterday, and I sort of had a sort of memorial service for that, and yeah, and that's it. That's it from Ealing in Queen of the Suburbs. So how about you, Ricardo, in sunny Portugal? How are you doing?
Not sunny, not so sunny this month. Almost Christmas. It's
You should have said it.
freezing. I guess I lost you guys. No.
Just okay.
Okay. No, it's really cold here as I moved for Alentejo, and my life it's about work, friends, and taking care of my cats, and that's okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's most of our lives, Ricardo. Taking care of our cats.
Care of animals.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've done. You've all got cats.
You're the other one now.
Yeah. You could you need a lovely woolly hat and some gloves, Ricardo. You look really cold. I guess Portugal's not really, the houses and stuff are not really designed for this cold weather.
Yeah, that's it.
And obviously, not that sunny either.
Sorry?
What did you say, Rohan?
Oh, sorry, can't you hear me? I said it's not that sunny either.
No. What temperature is it normally, Ricardo?
Oh, let me check.
No, normally. Normal time, this time of year.
No, in Lisbon about 14, but now here in Alentejo we get 1 degree, 2 degrees in the morning and night. We have, sometimes I pick my car to go and have a coffee, and I spend like 10 minutes just to watch the windows because there's ice everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need a heater. Well, we'll send you a big hug, and let's see if we can warm you up with our scintillating conversation.
Let's go.
We're here today to talk about World AIDS Day. And I'm just wondering, why is that relevant to you?
Well, we start big. Well,
absolutely. Cut to the chase.
It's really important to me. I live with HIV since I was diagnosed in 2014, and well, it's for me it's really important to say, okay, I live with HIV and it's not a big deal, and let's talk and let's inform people and let's.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
I'm really surprised by some of the stats, but just focusing on you, Ricardo.
Yeah.
What was that like when you found out? I mean, 2014, that's a few years ago.
Yes.
So cast your memory back. That must have been quite scary.
Well, I have to speak a little bit about my story, my personal story. In my family, there was two things that were impossible to happen. First, to be gay, and second, to have HIV. So I dated with a girl for 7 years. I came out as homosexual around my 25. I had 26 years. And I only started to have regular sexual life when I was in my 30s. And I knew nothing about how HIV spread and other diseases as well. And I was in a very toxic relationship for 2 years. and then I start to have some symptoms, stomach issues, lungs, always tired. I start to lose weight. I had the symptoms, already symptoms for AIDS for like 2 years. And for that,
did you know it was, sorry to cut in, did you think
No.
that was AIDS then, or was it something else? Did you think it was stress or something?
no, I was pretty sure it was AIDS, but I was in denial. So it get me 2 years since my divorce till I got tested. But it was like a bomb. I thought, okay, I'm going to die. And yeah, because I had no information. My friends had no information, my family the same. It was tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you have a support network, or was that, or were you very low?
I received the results with my family doctor, and she was like a bitch to me. She was like, "Oh, you are a despair. How to say this? You are terrible for your parents. You are gay and now you are HIV positive." So I had to find an association where I work as volunteer, that it's called GATS, Group of Activists in Treatment. And I had a few appointments with psychologists who explained me what the virus was, how it could develop in my body, etc. And I started the treatment right away, and about 1 year after starting the treatment, I was already undetectable. No, I never had, apart from the first symptoms before the diagnosis, I never had really problems, health problems, sorry.
So Ricardo, you sort of, talked about, you thought it was AIDS, and, you talked about finding out about HIV and you were HIV. What is the difference between HIV and AIDS?
Okay, HIV, you have a virus inside of you that if you take, in my case, if I take 1 pill per day, every day at the same hour, the virus don't replicate. If you don't take your pills, you take the risk of the virus get replicates, and you can get a lot of diseases, opportunist diseases, and it can be your end. Unfortunately, there's lots of people dying from AIDS still in 2021. Yeah.
So you keep the HIV in check by taking your tablets every hour. That
Yes.
keeps.
And I get blood tested every 6 months.
So you also said that you talked about being undetectable. So
Yes.
I guess that your condition, or is that the condition for everyone who has the medication?
Now the medication, it's really, it's not like AZT in the 80s and in the 90s. It's really effective. It really works. So if you follow your doctor advice, if you take your pills and if you get tested regularly, you can do your life normal. Well, I since 2016, I can be biological father.
Okay.
No problem.
That's interesting, Ricardo, because a lot of people who probably are listening would probably think HIV equals AIDS. Yeah.
Or equals death. And
yeah, and that equals death. Yeah, but it's just the case of, I guess that every person who has AIDS has HIV, but everyone who has HIV does not mean they have AIDS.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Yeah. That's something we need to point, because, yeah.
How is that message coming across in Portugal then? Is that through the work Guts does?
Here in Portugal, you don't hear people talking about HIV a lot. It's a bit like at the United States, don't ask, don't tell. So I guess it should be mandatory to the information goes to the schools, but since the little ones, because speaking about me, when I was 30 years old, I didn't knew how to prevent this to happen. So it's a shame.
Yeah, it's,
Education is the key there, isn't it? And if we can try and get some of that out there in schools and stuff, that does help.
I do some work with that group where I work with, but it's really tough. It's
yeah, definitely.
so I'm guessing, Ricardo, you've got the virus in check. It's not attacking your immune system, so it sounds like you're in a good place.
Yeah.
Even though it's cold out there in some.
If you just need a holiday to Rohan's, it'll be lovely and warm. It'll be more than 15 degrees.
I'll tell you something, it's 24 degrees here, and I've still got a fleece on.
May I take a plane to go there?
To Northfields. Well,
You're more than welcome. Super. So I'll ask you the next question, if that's all right. Obviously, you're sharing quite a lot with us today, and we're really, really grateful for it. It's just around sort of living with HIV in 2021 compared to maybe 10, 20 years ago, and what the differences are.
Okay. I can tell you guys that nowadays I only remember I have HIV when I take my pill after my dinner, and when I have to go to the hospital to do some blood tests. I'm really grateful, really grateful. I don't know if you believe in God or if you have some beliefs, but I thank God every day for my condition. Not this, because this is not a disease. I'm really grateful for this. Nevertheless, as an activist, I cannot forget all the path that the people who died with AIDS in the 80s and in the 90s. And I think it's there's already people doing that, some artists and some writers creating a narrative regarding HIV. And despite the fact I'm fine, I'm healthy, sorry. Okay. I cannot forget that all the millions of people who died from AIDS, the gay cancer, the AZT treatments, the people being treated as sinners. I'm really grateful, and it's not the same thing having HIV in 2021 or in 1990, but I guess that we cannot forget our history. It's like the pride. It's a second pride, if you want.
Cool. Thank you.
I remember, Ricardo, when I was first coming out, and I thought AIDS was used as a weapon by lots of people to sort of use that to target their prejudices, because I remember lots of people targeted the LGBT community. I remember people were targeting, saying it's come from Africa. Africans are bringing it to the UK.
Yeah.
And also, I remember also, about drug users as well. People, they were targeted as well, and it seemed like it was used as a weapon to target certain groups.
Yeah.
We've got a bit more of an enlightened attitude now. Still a bit of a way to go, but I think we're getting there.
Hopefully.
Interesting you said that, Rohan. Is there still a stigma from the community? Do people still treat you differently, even in the LGBT community?
Me? But
no, not you, Rohan. Ricardo.
Oh, you said Rohan, so.
I mean, like on dating sites, or just when you in your LGBT support groups, the people almost treat you differently if they found out your HIV status.
Yes.
You end up hiding it.
Totally. Here in Portugal, I guess it works like at the UK. If you date someone, you don't need to. You're not. It's not mandatory to tell the person, okay, I live with HIV, but when people discover, you discard it just like this.
It must be really hard when you're in a relationship of knowing when's the right time to actually share that. And that's quite a scary thing, because there's that rejection and that fear of, when just you tell them up front when it's early and risk rejection, but then you haven't invested as much.
Yes.
Or do you leave it, see how the relationship goes, and then there's more pain of if that person rejects you. So there's always this kind of fine line of when's the right time to share that information, I'm sure.
Yes, I had already both experiences, like letting it go, just to see if it was the right person, if it was not. And when I came out as HIV person, people just do ghosting, disappear, blocks me everywhere. And I had the other part by telling in the first date, or just in a casual date, saying, okay, I'm HIV positive, but I'm undetectable. But people gets afraid, are not really informed. They think that even with condom they can get HIV. There's really lack of information, and HIV don't kill you, but the stigma kills you. In the social apps for dates, you have an option, a ticket box, where you can put your HIV status. And believe me that if you check the box saying that you are HIV undetectable, everybody is going to block you when you try to speak. So
that's horrible.
I think we really need to get engaged with the information. It's always my advice: get tested and get informed, because
Ricardo, you said something very interesting there. I'd like to pick up on. It is like when you were talking about your status, and if you like coming out to someone about your status. I guess that must be you're coming out more than one occasion, aren't you?
Yes. I came out with 25 to my parents and to my closest friends, and now. Tell me.
No. I was just going to say, how does that compare to your second coming? How does that compare to your first coming out?
You suffer twice. It's never easy, the process of coming out, because at least in my case, I always thought, okay, I'm giving sufferance to my parents, to my friends. And now, as an HIV person, it was the same. But the worst for me, it's really when I try to date someone and I need to come out as an HIV person. I guess that's why I'm divorced for 10 years already, because I'm afraid of sometimes when I see that the relationship can become serious, I'm the first running away because I'm afraid.
We love you, Ricardo.
I know. And I'm not sad, I'm just
letting us know how it
yes.
is.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So you mentioned taking pills on a daily basis at specific times. So we're talking about PrEP here, aren't we? And from what I see, it's highly effective in preventing the sexual transmission of HIV.
Yes.
It works really well, as you've said, and you have to take the pills as directed. It can prevent HIV, but it doesn't protect against other sexually transmitted infections. All stuff that you've said already. And just to say a little bit more, so you have to know your HIV status and get your meds regularly. Make sure you know the basics on how it's transmitted and ways of preventing it from spreading. So we've been through all that already. Be confident about your own value, and HIV is just a part of you. It's like the color of your eyes and the color of your hair and whatever. And remember, you've got the right to be happy, pursue a happy life, full, long life, and do what you want to do. I think that's really important information to take away, and I'm sure there's more that we can take away from what you're telling us now.
And I guess more people has to have the courage to say, okay, I'm gay or I'm lesbian or whatever, and I am HIV positive. Make this normal, because this is normal. It's not like diabetes or cancer. It's a condition. It's not even a disease. You equal you.
You equals you. Undetectable equals untransmittable. Is that right?
Is that exactly? No.
So okay. So how can it transmit? Can I catch it from being in the same room as you?
Yeah, maybe. No, of course not.
Okay, what about touching something that you've touched, a toilet seat or a door handle? No?
No, neither. No.
Okay, drinking from the same utensil? No?
You just can get infected if you exchange body fluids.
So hugging, ever kissing then?
Intercourse is without protection. Yeah.
Okay. So safe sex. Well, safe sex is
safe
good.
sex.
I think it's really important that people practice safe sex. Generally, I think, I was just looking at the stat, and often people think that this is a gay disease. And Rohan, I think you touched on it earlier. There was this propaganda that this was something that only affected gay people.
Yeah.
And I think what we really must recognize is that actually it can happen to anybody. So I was looking at some stats, and I think it was 20.7% is transmitted from sex between men, but actually heterosexual men and heterosexual women make up 50% of people that are diagnosed with AIDS and HIV. So that's quite a high. That's so it's definitely not something that's only affecting the LGBT community. And I think often heterosexual people practice unsafe sex, and their biggest fear is actually somebody getting pregnant and having a child. When actually this is a disease, or potentially a condition that could result in a disease if not kept in check. And so it's really important that people practice safe sex no matter who you are and who you love.
And if people don't want to practice safe sex, at least get tested and know their condition, their status, and be honest to the other person. So that's the key point. Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I read a stat somewhere the other day. I was reading up for this, that 53% of in 2017, so it's a couple of years back, of the 4,000 people that would that diagnosed, 53% were men, and the other 47% were women. So that's significantly, something that women should be thinking about, when they're entering in relationships. Like you say, getting yourself tested, making sure that your partner is testing and until that, you make sure you practice safe sex. I'm not, sex is a great thing. It's a great thing to share, but just make sure you do it safely.
Yeah.
So, Rohan, have you got any key takeaways that you?
Yes, I've got my key takeaways, and I've got. So, Ricardo, I've been listening to what you've been saying. I've been writing things down. Okay. So I think the key takeaway for me is support.
Yeah. Don't judge.
What?
Don't judge.
Yes, I was going to say non-judgmental.
Yes.
Don't judge someone, and also perhaps maybe don't necessarily ask a person's status. Just wait for them to reveal themselves to you.
Yeah. It's quite offensive when someone gets to you and asks, "Hey, do you have AIDS?" And you get like, "No, I'm HIV." Sometimes it happens and it's really, it kills you.
And they might think differently after sharing that, but that's obviously something that you don't want to share, and don't ask.
Yes.
It's not information. You wouldn't ask someone if they got a heart condition. That's something that somebody would share. So likewise.
Yes.
I think it's your story, and it's your story to share, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key thing. I had another key takeaway, Mel, but it slipped my mind when you.
John, you got anything? Key takeaway?
I'm just trying to think. So as we said, know your status. You can't catch HIV through touch, sweat, pee, that sort of thing. Drinking from the same water fountain, sharing eating utensils, those sorts of things. So yeah, just educate yourselves on everything that we've talked about today. It's not going anywhere, but this is why the 1st of December is so important to everybody.
And I think another key takeaway for me is, HIV, from what you said, doesn't equal AIDS, doesn't equal death.
Yeah.
You seem content, you're living with this condition, and you're happy.
I just had to accept myself as an HIV person, as I accepted myself as a gay man, as I accepted myself for being colorblind. So yeah, that's life. I just need to be happy and to be here and to support wherever it comes.
Yeah, the other key thing that I just remembered was I think we all must remember we're all human and we should all be kind.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you. And with that comment, I think we are coming to the end of our 40-minute podcast. So I hope everyone has found this frightfully informative, because I have. And Ricardo, I want to say thank you very much for coming along, talking to us. I know you were a little bit nervous.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah, but you did fabulously.
Okay.
So I look forward to having you with us again for some future episode, maybe about climate change.
It's better to invite Greta. I'm not a good person to talk about that.
We need to speak to it when it's a bit warmer as well.
Yeah.
Besides of that stuff. But yeah, thank you very much, Ricardo, from me as well. Thank you for being so open and honest, as I said before. And yeah, it's great to get this information out there for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Same ways, Ricardo, amazing talking to you. You've making me cry here. Holding it together is really hard. But yeah, I feel for you. I want to give you a massive hug, not just to warm you up, but just because you've had such a ordeal. And I guess it's made me appreciate that living with HIV is still, very much got a stigma attached to it. And we really need to help break those down. So just educating yourself about the condition. Just a quick one. We talked about PrEP. Can people use PrEP as kind of a precaution to transmitting it, or is that? Or is it just for when you got
Wait.
diagnosed?
You have PrEP, and it's pre-exposition to the virus, and you have some pills we take after exposition to the virus. But the PrEP, as long as I know, it's a pill you take once a day, but you have to take it the same I take my retrovirals, and you have to be you have to go to an appointment to the hospital, get tested every 3 or 6 months, and do the PrEP regularly every day.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you once again, Ricardo, and for the whole crew, and for all of you viewers out there in TV land and radio land and and whatever land. Stay safe, stay proud. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks a lot.